What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to tonight's Anfield Agenda transfer news roundup. Well, we're going to be pushing aside the talk of the wage bills and turnover and all this other stuff, and we're going to just have a chat around a player who's determined to stay at Anfield, one who maybe didn't want to initially come to Anfield, and then we're going to give you the latest on a move that could very well happen in this month, and I'm talking about a player coming in to join our attack. So we're going to go through all of that over the next few minutes. As always, we'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it. And of course, we would love you to hit that subscribe button and help us on a road to 300,000 subscribers. Now, tomorrow, the preview for the game against Ipswich is going to be coming out in the morning. But I'm going to have to play it by ear after that because there's a really bad weather front coming into Ireland at the minute. And a storm's due to hit my area. So I don't know if I'll have electricity or not tomorrow. So hopefully I will. If I don't, then I'll see you hopefully on Saturday for the game. But for now, let's get stuck into the news roundup. And as I promised, we won't be talking about any of the numbers or anything like that. Well, one number I do want to talk about, and I mentioned it earlier, is Mohamed Salah, who's now on 51 Champions League goals. And just a little second to just congratulate Mo yet again on another remarkable achievement. The Metro in the UK, and I touched on this earlier on, said contract talk between Liverpool and Trent Alexander-Arnold have stalled. Now, I said to you at the start of this video that we're going to talk about a player who may come in, a player who almost didn't want to, and that player was Cody Gakpo. And this isn't my words or hearsay. This is coming from Ruud van Nistelrooy, who came out and said Cody Gakpo's dream move was Manchester United. I advised him to wait till the summer. Something happened. He refused my advice and listened to Virgil van Dijk, who tempted him to join his team. Van Nistelrooy was his striker coach at PSV Eindhoven, by the way, and this was from an interview, I think, in 2023. So, I'm so glad that Cody Gakpo seen common sense. I'm so glad that Virgil van Dijk saw fit to tell Cody Gakpo to come to Liverpool, because I don't know how anybody would have wanted to go to United with the mess that they are in and have been in for a while. So I'm very grateful that Cody Gakpo chose to come to Liverpool. I'm very grateful for our captain, Virgil van Dijk, for talking him into it. And it also makes me feel kind of good as well that Ruud van Nistelrooy wanted him at United, but it didn't happen. So some people may look at this and feel like, what? Gakpo didn't want to come to Liverpool? He did though, because that's where he went. We only have Ruud's word for it, that was his dream move to go to Manchester United. I think right now he's living the dream at Liverpool, top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League format, and looking like a very tidy player under Mr. Arne Slot, his national compatriot, and somebody who obviously sees a lot of good and potential in Cody Gakpo. So take that L, United, and take that L, Mr. Van Nistelrooy. So we've got a report as well to come in from Joseph Agbobley that said Liverpool are planning contract talks with Harvey Elliott amid the interest from Brighton and Borussia Dortmund. 21-year-old is out of contract in June 2027, is pending an extension back in August 2022. Has featured just 53 minutes so far in the Premier League this season. This is great for me, and I hope he stays. I've been very pleased to see Harvey Elliott come out in the last few days and say he's not going anywhere. He wants to learn from the manager. He wants to know what he can do better. He wants to help the team, and he wants to fight his way back into contention to start more regularly. I love it. I love everything about him. I love his attitude from day one. I love that he turned down Real Madrid. I love that he didn't want to tour the Santiago Bernabeu. I love all of this about Elliott, and this makes me love him even more. So hopefully we can get that contract extended. Hopefully he can work his way into the manager's thoughts and become the player that I believe he's more than capable of being. So let's have a little laugh at Arsenal for a second before I move on to the attacking option that I mentioned at the start of the video. An account on social media that follows Arsenal said, "This stat is actually mental." And then said the last time that Arsenal lost the Champions League game at the Emirates was 7 years, 11 months and 14 days ago, until an eagle-eyed Liverpool fan called Sim spotted this and said, they weren't in the Champions League for 6 of them years, which is true. You know, it's easy to say that you haven't been beaten at home in a competition if you haven't been playing in it very much, so kind of makes that stat seem a lot less impressive. Right, now to move on to this story, and this one seems to be moving along. Fabrizio Romano saying there could be movement with Liverpool at the moment and Rayan Cherki. Now, if you're not aware, Lyon are in a lot of financial peril and they have to come up with, I believe, upwards of 140 million quid, or they could be relegated down to the second tier of French football. So they have to sell. We also know that there's been a gentleman's agreement reported between Cherki's camp and Lyon that he could be sold for about €21 million, which I think is about £19 million. Fabrizio Romano went on to say the appreciation of the player in terms of scouting him has been there. At the moment, I'm not aware of a proper negotiation between Liverpool and Lyon for Cherki, but information that's come our way tonight has also suggested that this would be potentially the deal of this window for us. And yes, maybe it does fall into that opportunistic bracket, but the thing that makes me, I guess, concerned about it is, where is he going to play? Where would the need arise? Because if we're talking about moving Darwin or Diogo on, I don't think that Cherki's coming in there to be a right fit in either of those positions. So that's the part about this I'm most confused about. I've long wanted Liverpool to use their financial muscle to kind of shithouse players and clubs that are in a position where they're vulnerable to somebody coming in with a big offer or they need to sell. And I've no problem with Liverpool being opportunistic in that way. I'm just not really sure on the need for Rayan Cherki. I certainly don't want it to be to replace Mohamed Salah, but if it's to, supplement the team and maybe another attacker's going to move on, okay, fair enough, I've no issues with that. And at £19 million, much like when we signed Federico Chiesa, it's a roll of the dice that you could understand for the price point. So let's wait and see what happens with this one. I think this, based off my understanding, my reading, and maybe just my anticipation of what might happen in this window, could be the only deal we may see, unless maybe something else pops up in the closing days. Now remember, the window doesn't close at the last day of January. The window closes on the 3rd of February. So keep an eye on that one. And anything that you guys want to add in, please feel free in the comments. I also have a lot of growing optimism, for what it's worth, that Liverpool will sign Kirkes in the summer. I said this the other day, United looking around for other options at left back makes me feel more and more confident that maybe that deal is already in place with Richard Hughes tapping into his Bournemouth contact, and I do think we may see Milos Kirkes in a Liverpool shirt next season. Certainly believe that agent Dominic Soboslai is going to be doing his best to help out there as well. So that is pretty much where we're at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, I did want to get into the numbers tonight. There has been some more leaked images, by the way, of the new Liverpool Adidas home shirt, which is doing the rounds on social media if you want to have a little search up for it. And I have to say, it's looking rather tasty. And I will certainly be spending my money on that shirt if that is indeed the new shirt. And I think it is at this point. There's been lots of mock-ups of it, lots of images for it doing the rounds on social media. So I'm confident that it probably is the right one. So that is it, ladies and gents. And I hope to see you tomorrow. But as I said, I'm at the behest of the weather here. So if not, I'll see you on Saturday. I want to thank you all so much for your support. Everyone that joined us tonight for the late night agenda in what was a difficult subject to broach. I thought everybody dealt with it well and like adults, and I appreciate you all for that. If you're in Ireland, be safe with your families and be well with the storm coming in. And of course, to all of you, nothing but love from me. You guys are amazing. The support you give me on a personal level does not go unnoticed to me and my family. And I love you all dearly. So thank you very much. I'll chat to you tomorrow. Take care.